So today, the theme is hikikomori. Now what is hikikomori? Hikikomori is a phenomenon in Japan where young people, typically around the ages 15 to 30, are afraid of social contact, afraid of talking to people, they're afraid of the rejection that comes from that. So I wanted to express in an image, in a painting, feelings of loneliness and of isolation. Here we go. So first things first, as always, I do a quick sketch on Bristol paper just to get my drawing finished, get my lines all clean. I prefer drawing digitally first. Then I move into Photoshop where I decide on the layout of my image, what kind of mood I want to give it, adjust my colors. Pretty straightforward. Next thing I'll do, which I did not film, is transfer it onto a large block of wood and gesso over it. Then I'll transfer a large image of this as I printed it out onto the wood as I've done before. You'll see it on previous videos. I just didn't film it this time. Next I cut out sections of the image. I'm going to use this as a base for what I'm painting on. Unfortunately, this was actually for a class and I wouldn't have had the time to give the image the effect I wanted to without gluing and collaging some of the images. And also it gives it a very interesting photographic effect. This is quite a large image. This is one of the biggest pieces I think I've ever worked on. I believe it's 36 by 20? It's maybe 30 by 26, something around that. It's quite large. And right now I've just affixed these images on with matte medium, using it as like a little glaze over it to keep the images safe on the canvas. Next I'm adding some gesso for texture, using a palette knife. And then I go in onto the buildings, just darkening the image and painting over it with light washes of black paint, blue paint, yellow paint, red paint, some green. Also, my hair looks very messy. So I guess maybe I'll talk a little bit about how I decided on the composition of this image. At first I really struggled with how I could express the feeling of hikikomori. At first I thought I want to do something about otakus, and I wanted to draw a large space just crammed together with a bunch of just anime goods, figurines, and manga and stuff. But the more I started to think about it, that's not what a hikikomori is. A hikikomori would be someone who's afraid of social contact, of talking to people, of the feeling of rejection from being with people when you don't fit in correctly. So what I decided to do was I drew a boy facing away from me. That's just kind of the first image that came to mind, just him not looking at us. And next to him I drew a bottle of, I tried to make it like Calpico, but I don't know if it really came across in the bottle. He also has a thing of manga and a ball jointed doll. In my research, this was for a Asian families class and also my painting class. There was a part where the author mentions how the hikikomoris, when they feel these feelings of inadequacy, they reach out to inanimate objects such as figurines and manga to fulfill this kind of social contact without facing the risk of rejection. He's got a naked little female doll. Also, yeah, it's a big skip forward into the painting progress. Actually, not really. At first I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep the sky white. I really like the effect of it, but in order to make him pop out a bit more with his paper white skin, it was best to have made him very white and make the background black. guess I'll introduce a bit more symbolism about this painting. So in Japan, I'm not exactly sure about other Asian countries, but the number on floor, the number 4, like number 13 for us Westerners, is a very unlucky number. The sound of the number 4, shi, sounds very similar to the word for death, which is shinu. And I guess that makes it very unlucky. I'm pretty sure there's more history for that, but that's all I've ever heard. So once you look at it, so he is facing what I'd like to say is the glass pane of an apartment window with a sliding glass door. That's what's blocking him from the outside world, so he doesn't have to have that kind of, he doesn't have to face the people, but he can still like see out onto them, see what he's missing. So every line in there that is connected, there are 4 lines on the top and on the bottom. And if you look into the distance in the background, maybe it'll show up soon. There are 4 buildings. Also the number 4. The boy, his doll, his manga, and his drink. Also number 4. Wow, symbolism up in here, yo. Yeah, I've had a long day. So I can get this very nice watercolor effect, all I've done is water down acrylic paint. I've heard some people will use like matte medium, but I find that I have just a lot of control just using water. I didn't take very many layers. This is also a very new effect for me. Usually I despise the idea of painting over an image. It feels a lot like plagiarism to me. But I feel like one thing was I didn't have enough time, as I said before, to make this image the way I wanted to. I had maybe a week to finish this image, and I wasn't going to turn something in half done. That was just not my style. So I want to make it as beautiful as possible, and I used this kind of technique. It turned out pretty nice. This is me swiping gesso on all the lines.
Yeah, so that's all of it. I hope you enjoyed.
This is me swiping gesso on all the lines because it just was not being smooth. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all of it. I hope you enjoyed watching, and before I show you the final piece, I'll just plug my Etsy store, my Tumblr, my Facebook. Check it out. I have many things there that I don't post on YouTube because YouTube takes a long time. You've probably missed out on a lot of art if you're not on any of those medias. Alright, okay, thanks for watching!